Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be of ONYX by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So ONYX is the second book in the Lux series. It goes after Obsidian. I did do a book review of that. I'll link it down below. Like I said in my last video, this was kind of Twilight-y, but what I'm realizing is that the farther you go into these books, the less like Twilight they really are. I'm only about 25 pages into the third one, so I don't really know what happens in the third one. Nothing really happened so far. But let's get started with this book review. I am going to be spoiling ONYX from now on, so if you haven't read it, I recommend leaving. So let's get into it. So we start off this book and Katie's like mysteriously sick. No one really knows what happens to her, but then she gets better and really nothing came of it. We found out that there's some type of connection between Damien and Katie. A lot of people call him Damon. I call him Damien because that kind of helps me separate Damon from the Vampire Diaries to Damon from the Lux series, so I'm gonna call him Damien. I love it when Katie tells Damien to keep taking his ego steroids. That was the first time I laughed in this book, but it definitely wasn't the last because this book is hilarious. Then when they almost kissed and then he was like, "Not my ego, kitten." Oh my gosh. At first I thought that Damien was gonna be as annoying as he was in the first book. There was some serious character development going on with him. Is it just me, or are most of Katie and Damien's kisses interrupted? It feels like every time they're about to kiss, they get interrupted by something, and I'm like, oh great, this is kind of awkward. And then, I knew from the start that Blake was going to be the bad guy in this book. I put it right here. It says bad vibes from Surf Guy, and Surf Guy is obviously Blake. And I got that Sebastian feel from City of Glass. If you haven't read City of Glass, it's the third one of the Mortal Instruments, and he reminded me of Sebastian so much. I agreed with Damien 100%. Everything about him was so convenient, and he knew everything about everything. And if you were running away from the DOD, how would you know so much about the DOD? And then we get this explanation from Blake about all he knows about the hybrids. Then we get another explanation from Matthew. We learn that if Katie dies, then Damien dies, and vice versa. And that's when I just gasped. I just, whoa. And that just ups the stakes so much for these next books. Like, that's so scary. And then when Damien finds Katie and Blake at that restaurant, and he gets like super angry, and he won't let Katie talk, and that's super annoying. It reminded me of the one. Let her talk, and maybe you would understand that she was trying to like break up with him, put him in the friend zone. But of course, he gets all angry for no reason. Everything turns out okay in the end. Another scene that I really liked in this book was the note passing scene. One of Katie's friends sends Katie a note and she's like, "Damien looks really hot today." And then Katie replies, "Damien always looks hot." And then next thing you know, the note is in Damien's hands. And I just loved that entire scene. It was so hilarious to me. And then Katie's training with Blake. I hated when Damien stopped watching them train. It was just so annoying because he kept on doing these crazy things to Katie. And I was like, why would you trust this kid? There's something wrong with him, and you just keep on training with him and trusting him instead of trusting Damien, and it made me so mad. Frustrating reading those parts when she was with Blake and they were training and he was doing all these horrible things to her. When he left her without a rum to go and kill him herself, I was like, no, this has to be over, right? No, I forgave him again, and I was like, what are you doing with your life right now? He's obviously not a good guy. Isn't it kind of hilarious how, like, in the last book and then half of this one, Damien was always talking about how he would like die for Katie and that he's her everything and stuff like that, but now if he dies for Katie, then that's kind of a stupid point. I really like how in this relationship from now on, they really have to stay alive and there's no like self-sacrificial moves because there's no point in it. And then when Blake turned out to be a traitor, I wasn't surprised at all. I was just angry, and she still didn't bring this up to Damien, which was a really weak move for her. And then he's about to report her to the DOD, and that's when Dee and Adam come, and then they start fighting for their lives, and Dee almost dies. Adam does die, and I really don't know what's going to be of their relationship in the next book because honestly, she didn't mention a thing about this to D, and it never even made sense to me. Like, why can't you trust D? It made me kind of frustrated at Katie because I don't understand why we couldn't trust D for the last 2 books. A lot of this stuff would have been avoided. And also, Blake should have died in this book. Damien should have killed Blake. And I really don't understand why he didn't. He's bound to come back in the next book, or in the book after that, or in the book after that, because, you know, if you let a villain go, they're gonna come back and it's gonna backfire. And I'm really nervous. What's gonna happen with Blake? And there's a whole whale situation. Is he just gonna go for the hills? Is there gonna be like the full-on connection? I don't think there's gonna be the full-on connection because that would be really awkward. I'm wondering if he'll ever come back. I hope he does, so then we can kill him. Then I really miss Dee's presence in this book because Damien and Katie were too busy with the whole hybrid mess, and we really didn't see Dee, and I missed her because I really loved her presence in the first book and we didn't have enough of it in this one. Also, can we talk about this connection? For a lot of the book, Katie was talking about how Damien's attraction to her was just because of this connection thing, and it kind of reminded me of season 4 of the Vampire Diaries when Elena is tired to Damon and Damon doesn't know if he should really believe her feelings or if this is just part of the sire bond or if this is the truth. And for my next book reviews, this is gonna be something super fun that I'm starting up. Okay, so you guys know when like you have that one song that relates to the book you're reading so much? I'm going to be picking songs, and the songs that I pick relate to the book that I'm reviewing. So I have 2 songs today. Not every single book will have 2 songs, but I saw these 2. Also, not every song will be as mainstream as this one. Well, like, neither of them are really mainstream right now. They don't play on the radio as much. They were at one point, but yeah, I'm gonna be playing some indie music sometimes. Like, whatever fits with the book, I'm gonna be talking about with you guys. So the 2 songs that I have for ONYX and kind of Obsidian too, they fit for both. Counting Stars by One Republic, and what really reminded me of Counting Stars was when we were getting the scenes from Damien's point of view, which I absolutely loved reading. I remember he was talking about his dream with Katie. It just reminded me of the chorus when it was like, lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Lately I've been praying hard, said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Cause you know, like the stars in the galaxy and how Damien's not even from like this planet. I just thought the song went well. And the second one we have is Glad You Came by The Wanted, and this one also reminded me of Damien's point of view in this book, and I just love it when it's like the sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. The universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came. And it just reminded me, like, Glad You Came is representing how he moved to this small town in West Virginia, and like the universe will never be the same. And, like, their connection. I just thought that that song fit perfectly with these books, so I had to share it with you guys. So I'm super excited to be picking songs for my book reviews from now on, so look forward to that. That's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Oh yeah, and I just wanted to tell you guys, if you're wondering what the heck happened to my shelves, that is Domino books. If you haven't seen the video, I did Domino books down my staircase and then it kind of wrapped around my living room, so I was too lazy to put any of my shelves back in order, so you know what, I'm filming it ugly today.